What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining us for this latest episode of Double Tech. We found out that Cooper Kupp, MVP of the Super Bowl, and Quinton, what are your thoughts on that? On wide receiver as MVP again this year? Seems like something that happens pretty.
Unpopular opinion, I don't think he should have been. A lot of people agreed with it. I'm not against it. So let me just put that out there. I'm not against him getting it because, yes, he was a vital part of the game. But to me, the vital part of the game was Matthew Stafford. Prior to Kupp kind of going off, and as people said, the way he did, Odell Beckham was doing the same thing. It was obviously the corners. Matthew Stafford was eating them alive. I mean, he was tossing it. If they would have had both of them, I think Odell Beckham would have possibly been the MVP, or they would have split. But him, Matthew Stafford, and the history he has of, helping his wide receivers break records, get triple crowns and such. You know what I'm saying? But the problem was, I think maybe the reason he didn't get it was at the fault of another wide receiver. If that man catches that ball for that first down that Stafford put right on his chest, doesn't fumble it, cause the second interception, I think Matthew Stafford gets Super Bowl MVP. But it's the way they do Stafford. So I'm not surprised. Like, Stafford's only quarterback not allowed to make a mistake. You know what I'm saying? He's not allowed to make mistakes.
And they weren't mistakes either. I mean,
it wasn't his fault, but they don't pay. No. Like, when it happened, you could see the world talking about, oh, he looks like the Lion Stafford. In my head, I'm like, I hope he does, because Lion Stafford was still a beast. But the only thing that looked Detroit about it was the fact that he dropped the pass that hit him in the chest for an interception on a drive that was very pivotal into the game. But like I said, I'm not mad at Cooper Kupp for it. Like I said, he did great. A lot of second opportunities as far as people grabbing onto him and this, that, and the third. So, I mean, good for the wide receivers, though, because it spreads it out. I'm kind of sick of seeing the quarterbacks win every single award ever. Like, they had Cooper Kupp in the #1 award. Like, they try to put him behind Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady. And I'm like, who was Cooper Kupp before Matthew Stafford? Like, he was all right, but what you think?
But no, I mean, come on. Cooper Kupp just completed the greatest season for a wide receiver in terms of accolades in NFL history. He was the Triple Crown winner. That's catches, yards, touchdowns. He then was Offensive Player of the Year. He then was MVP of the Super Bowl. Okay. Matthew Stafford scored 3 touchdowns, was the person who scored every single touchdown in that Super Bowl, right? Has never happened where a quarterback has done that and then not won the MVP. People want to talk about his 2 interceptions. One was a blatant drop, as Hugh had mentioned, over the middle. The other one was basically a punt because they were in 3rd and long, and he decided to chuck it up to the end zone because worst case, they pick it off, and it's the exact same condition as if we punted it on the next play. Neither one of those are mistakes. Those are calculated risks. Those are ways that Stafford is using his veteranness to take over, right? That's the high football IQ that we've seen that's providing these opportunities for the wide receivers. What kills me about this is that there's only been one other receiver to accomplish this in a career, and that's Jerry Rice. And now Cooper Kupp has done it all in one season because of Stafford, and we're rewarding him for being on the level of Jerry Rice. That feels egregious. It doesn't feel like it represents the truth or reality. And it feels like, hey, man, we just want to hate on Stafford and we want there to be a superstar.
Like, was it Richard Sherman said this shit, talking about the Hall of Fame stuff being too simple and all this, talking about, well, Jared Goff has, 2 of these, and da-da-da. Fuck Jared Goff. So you're going to tell me because he has 2 All-Pros, he was ever in his career better than Matthew Stafford?
Never. Not once. Doesn't add up.
It's the way that they kind of spin these. Like I said, I don't want to take away from Cooper Kupp. But like you said,
he played incredible.
If you put another quarterback out there for the Rams right now, is Cooper Kupp getting that? Is somebody else making the no-look pass across the field to get you open, to get that last play off to seal the game? Does anybody do that? Because the normal quarterback's not going to catch you up there. They're going to telegraph that pass, and you're going to be sitting right where you was. You get what I'm saying? I applaud like his short range situations, like when they need 5 yards and stuff like that, that's all cool and great. But anything past those 5-10 yards, that's what Goff was there for. You got Matthew Stafford there, changed the entire game, which he did in the Super Bowl, which he did in the games prior. It's just weird to me that somebody can carry a team across like that put him on his own back, take all the blame, but get none of the praise.
None of the praise. Less than 50 yards on the ground.
No running game. And whenever you have a Super Bowl where your team has 0 running game and you pull that off, quarterback has to get MVP.
Have to. And there's also when you look at the battles that Stafford had to go through, he was playing strong defenses. He was playing against elite quarterbacks throughout the playoffs until Jimmy Garoppolo, right? And then you're at a point where he had to go out and win this game. Who did Cooper Kupp have to face? Is there an elite corner on Arizona? No. Or the Bengals or San Fran.
Even Tampa Bay, their roster's all banged up. Half of their cornerbacks were playing 75, 65%.
Cooper Kupp's big plays at the end of the game came against safeties against Tampa Bay. And that's not to say he shouldn't be given the credit for going out and winning those battles, but it is to say, hey, Stafford put you in position. And you were on the receiving end of greatness. The fact that that's not honored here from a quarterback.
He didn't have to make any prolific catches. A lot of people are talking about the routes, the big plays that were made weren't any prolific route. It wasn't like Jamar Chase when he had Ramsey on the floor. It wasn't nothing like that. It was positional football. Okay, you're going to go in, hit this out. As Stafford knows, you're just going to be open. This
was very Edelman to me.
We've seen Jordy Nelson and Aaron Rodgers back in the day. To me, Jordy Nelson was never a number 1 receiver, but playing with Aaron Rodgers, a guy who knows how to get you where you need to be, he's not going to make your job hard. You just got to catch it.
Yeah, because we see what he can do with the real number 1 receiver in Devontae Adams, where they're unguardable, right? Yeah. It's not the same as my high-end number 2.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the difference. And I wanted to ask, we spent this time talking about Stafford, but do you think that Aaron Donald should have been a viable candidate for MVP?
That one was tough. Aaron Donald did play a great game, but I think a lot of his production came in the second half.
Okay.
The line didn't start off hot. And I think based on what we've seen from Cincinnati's offensive line, in the early part of the game, I expected more, right?
Mm-hmm.
Expect him to come out a little heavier. Obviously, to come back at the end and make that game-winning play was huge, for that stop. But I have to note too, in that same play is, I don't know if everybody checked the replay, but do you know what Aaron Donald stopped when he made that sack? Jamar Chase was up the sideline by himself with Jalen Ramsey on the floor. And if that boy Joe, he was looking for him. If he had a split second more, the Bengals catch that thing, and that's the ball game. So it's kind of like if he would have started maybe a quarter sooner and we would have seen something, obviously they had made that adjustment. I think you could have had the argument for Aaron Donald, and that would have been crazy. Obviously finally gets a Super Bowl. Think about him having a Super Bowl MVP. I think if, probably if Stafford throws one less touchdown or something like that, because, Kupp was on the end of a couple of them. You got OBJ. It's hard to really go at it and say, okay, this guy, but it's still amazing. I was expecting the Rams to honestly go out there and get 10, 12 sacks, but
And that's part of the conversation is that the expectations for Donald are so high. And then we're down on the Bengals O-line so much that 7 sacks in the Super Bowl for the Rams, we're looking at that whatever.
Yes, Hendrickson. So that's what I wanted to discuss when we talk about Donald's part is, to me, Hendrickson played a better overall game than Donald in the Super Bowl. Hendrickson was stopping the run. He was getting to the quarterback early in the game and towards the end of the game. To me, play for play, Hendrickson was probably the best defensive player out there on the field. The Rams defensive
all the help.
Yes, the Rams were kind of in a fortunate situation because of the line they were playing against. Hendrickson was going at a line in the Rams that we really haven't had too much bad to say about it. He made a way to get through there and fight. He stuffed the run back 3 or 4 times. Got to the quarterback a couple of times. So to me, that's why I wouldn't have gave it to Aaron Donald, because he wasn't even to me the best defensive player on the field in that game.
And I think that's fair to say. And one of the reasons I think why Cooper Kupp ultimately received the reward was because of the unstoppability factor. Everyone knows Stafford is going to you, and yet you still performed. Yes. So in the eyes of the voters and the eyes of many people, that is seen as Kupp can't be guarded.
Yeah.
What's going under the radar here is all of the extra keys and extra work pre-snap, post-snap, everything that happens before the throw that Stafford does to assist the window to get Kupp the ball. That's not being highlighted enough. So it's
a lot
Cooper
of people that are like, Kupp's the greatest, Kupp's the greatest. I'm like, whoa. Kupp's not Devontae Adams or D-Hop yet. You know, great with him in quarterback play, and, you know, give it to him right now. I guess they'll call him what they call him, but, you know, some guys out there that if they were standing out there with Matthew Stafford right now, it's kind of like when we saw Randy Moss come home to Tom Brady, and people saw who Randy Moss, like, we knew Randy Moss was a dog. We've seen him do some amazing things, but we've never seen wide receiver played with such ease until Randy Moss got to go play with Tom Brady, which is, in my eyes, I don't care what anybody says, still the best quarterback wide receiver tandem I've ever seen. To throw that out there, because he's Randy freaking Moss. You know what I'm saying? That man showed up to a hotel room to ask Tom Brady if he'll talk to Bill Belichick for him. Flew out to where the Patriots was just to go to his hotel room, have a 2-minute. He was like, "Hey man, can you just ask if I could play with you guys?" The last season, he looked just like Cooper Kupp looked last season. It was okay. It wasn't great. He had a little bit of a struggle here and there. His quarterback wasn't doing what he thought he could. You know, but congratulations to Kupp, same time, you know.
Yeah, congratulations. Not taking away from his talent. And chemistry is the most important thing when it comes to receiver and quarterback. More so than their individual talent levels is the chemistry that they have. Nobody worked harder in the offseason, obviously. These two guys together, hanging out every day, having breakfast.
And applauding his health. He had a lot of mileage on him this season.
That's true.
So that shows his. Obviously, you don't want to assume people aren't working when they get hurt, but a lot of that getting hurt is how hard you worked in the off season. You can't work out during the season if you're trying to get in shape and the season's already started.
Too late.
You know, good luck. And you know, Kupp was taking hits all season. His mileage was high, and he was able to stick it out to the Super Bowl to get it done for his team. Congratulations on the phenomenal season, the Super Bowl MVP. I can't say hope to see you guys next year because I'm a Giants fan. So I don't want to see you guys there. I want to see my team there. But if we don't make it,
it's over now.
You say what?
I forgot his ring. I can finally set it down. I can finally rest, bro. Mission complete.
Go back to cheer for the Lions again?
Have to. So, all right, Double Tag, hit us up. Let us know what you guys think about this Super Bowl MVP conversation. Should it have been Kupp, Stafford, Aaron Donald? Maybe another X Factor pick that we're not thinking of. Let us know. And like and subscribe. Check us out on the next one.